Hello everybody, Zero's Gaming here, and I am bringing you my updated Tenyi deck profile. It's not like major changes, just a few changes here and there for like less bricky hands and stuff like that, and just more stuff to make the deck better. Just a few more things added into the deck and changed up a little bit. And this build is just really nice. Uh, I know I keep saying the best, but decks always change. Decks always change. Alrighty, I want to get into it. So the first things first is show you all the Tenyi cards. So we have 3 Yashuna, then we have 3 Vushira, then we have 2 Shithana, 2 Mapura, and then 2 Adhira. Now each Tenyi monster has a first effect, and they can be special summoned if you don't control any effect monsters. And then they each have an effect that you can activate by banishing either from hand or graveyard to activate their second effects. Ashuna, you can banish from hand or graveyard if you control a non-effect monster to special summon another Tenyi monster with a different name. But Ashuna also locks you out from special summoning any worm monsters, which kind of sucks. So yeah. And then Vishuda, if you control a non-effect monster, banish from hand or grave, target a card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. Really good. Wish it didn't target, but whatever. It returns to the hand. Then we have Mapura. If a non-effect monster is targeted for a card effect, you can banish from hand or graveyard, quick effect, and negate and destroy that card. And then Shithana. I like Shithana a lot. Shithana you could banish from hand or grave. Whenever a non-effect monster gets destroyed, special summon that non-effect monster back, and non-target destroy a monster your opponent controls. And then we have Adhira, which Adhira banish from hand or graveyard to recycle banished Tenyi back into your hand. So yeah, that is it for the Tenyi monsters. We do have Mirmir. Mirmir, he can only be special summoned by a worm, but he can special summon a mini Mirmir token up to thrice per turn. So, 3 Mirmir tokens, but he loses a level for each, which is really good because he's starting at level 7. Special summon 3 tokens, he becomes level 4. Get a level 4, and it's easy secret rate plays. But yeah, Mirmir is a really good card in this deck. He's fantastic. Then we have 3 Vessel of the Dragon Cycle. Now, Vessel of the Dragon Cycle is you can send a worm from deck to the graveyard, and then if you control a non-effect monster, you can also add a Tenyi monster from deck to hand with a different name than the sent monster to the grave. Then we have 2 of the Field Spell, Flawless Perfection. All non-effect monsters on the field are unaffected by monster effects, and once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster while you control a non-effect monster or face down, you could draw 2. And then we have 2 of the Tenyi Traps. It's a Omni Negate. Your opponent activates Spell Trap monster effect, negate it. Doesn't destroy, sadly, but it has a second effect to where if this card is set face down and it gets destroyed, you can special summon a non-effect monster from your extra deck, which is powerful because it gets you this guy out on the field. 4,500 non-effect monster. It doesn't stop you from your Tenyi plays because he's a non-effect monster. He's 4,500 beater. Really good. Okay, that was it for the Tenyi cards. Now for the Cybers cards, we have 3 format. Format Skipper's effect is basically reveal a Link monster, and he becomes the attribute, the type, and the name for the material required. So he's really good. You activate his effect, reveal Monk, and he becomes a Tenyi monster by name. And then once he gets used for Link material and sent to the graveyard, you can add a level 5 or higher Cybers monster, and typically you'd be adding Next guy, Parallel Exceed, which if you link summon, Special Parallel Exceed, special summon another Parallel Exceed, and since Parallel Exceed got special summoned by Parallel Exceed effect, becomes level 4, and loses half attack and defense. So that's 2 level 4 Parallel Exceed monsters in that field, and then you go into a card I have in my extra deck, which is really cool, and no, it's not Tornado Dragon. But then we have Cyber's White Hat, and then we have Scripton. Cyber's White Hat, I don't ever use the Cyber's White Hat is you can special summon him if you control 2 of the same type monster. So what you would do is, like, if you have 2 Parallel Exceed, special summon him, or if you have 2 Worms, special summon him. You know, really, really easy to get him out on the field. And then if he gets sent to the graveyard by Link Material, all your opponent's monsters lose 1,000 attack. And then we have Scripton. Scripton, you can banish the Cybers to special summon him. And then if he gets used as Link Material, you can shuffle a banished Cybers monster back into the deck. So, yep, that is it for all the Cybers. Now for the hand traps, we have just 3 Ash, and then 3 Gammas. So, yep. And now for the other 4 cards, we have 2 Desires, and then 2 World Legacy Succession. World Legacy Succession, special summon a monster from the grave to a zone only monster points to. So, it's good. That is it for the main deck. Now let's go on to the extra deck. We have three of the greatest card in the extra deck is Monk. And then we have 2 Shaman. Shaman's effect is you can discard a card to special summon a worm from your graveyard. That's Mirror. Discard special summon Mirror from your graveyard typically. And then, but Shaman, sadly, you cannot activate the effects of. You cannot activate the effects of monsters special from the extra deck except Tenyi monsters. And then as in a second effect, which I really don't use, but it's when an attack is declared involving a face-up non-effect monster, target a card your opponent controls, destroy it. But I don't ever use that. I typically just use Shaman into more Link Material for like Berserker and stuff. But yeah. And then we have a Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, which cannot be destroyed by battle with an effect monster. If you control no other effect monsters, destroy the effect monsters your opponent controls up to the number of non-effect monsters you control or in your graveyard. Really good. Right, so go in second, right? Get him out in the field, activates effect, pop cards, and then you link climb even further. Then we have 2 Berserker of the Tenyi. Non-effect, link 3. Yeah. Then we have Sahasrara. Love this card a lot. While you control a face-up non-effect monster, monsters your opponent controls cannot target effect monsters for attacks. Now, it's fine if you have the link 4 on the field and no effect monsters. Don't worry about getting effect monster because Sahasrara has a second effect to where it's a quick effect. You could target effect monster your opponent controls, special Tenyi spirit token on the field, and it gains the attack of the targeted monster, of the opponent's targeted monster. So that token could potentially be a really strong token too. So yeah, really good. So if you ever on the field, don't stress about getting a non-effect monster in the field, because you have that effect. Then we have Apollosa, Bow of the Goddess, and then we have Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. Now, Draco Berserker of the Tenyi, his effect is really, really nice. Your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, banish it. Doesn't negate it, but that'd be too OP, but it banishes it, which is really nice. And then if an attacking card is destroyed, if this attacking card destroys an effect monster by battle since it's the graveyard, this card gains attack equal to destroyed monster's original attack, and this card can attack up to 2 monsters per turn. So this card attacks, destroys a monster, he can attack another monster your opponent controls, but sadly he doesn't gain the attack of the second destroyed monster. because that effect is once per turn. So really good. Then we have F.A. Don Dragster. He's spell trap negate. Gains attack equal to his level, loses 2 level to negate his spell trap. And then we have Gymnite Pearl. That's where Parallel C comes in. I'll see like Tornado Dragon being in the extra deck, which is fine, but your opponent isn't always running spell traps, and Tornado Dragon's also an effect monster. So if you want Tornado Dragon in your deck, put him in like your side deck or something, and switch Gymnite Pearl out for a more heavy spell trap deck. And then, of course, we have the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Alrighty, that's it for the extra deck. Let's go on to the side deck. We have 3 Vanity's Rulers. Nice card. Your opponent cannot special summon. Then we have Kaiju, Phantasme, 3 Twin Twisters, and 3 G-Barriers. Alright, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you played Tenyi and hope you check this out. At least like online on like Dueling Book or something like that. Have fun with it. It's a cheap deck, really cheap deck. You can buy a pure Tenyi deck profile for under $100. So again, I recommend it. You guys have a nice day.